Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect and indeed a new series. Today's beverage is a very healthy green tea. So welcome back to Prison Architect and indeed welcome back to the channel and the first video of 2025. Let's just see how much I forgot of the last couple of weeks break. So yes, welcome back, and in a previous series we were building the Reform Island, all focused about reform and programs and work, and I think we can class it as a success but with some caveats / excuses. Basically the reform rate was not really high enough to get a true, like, yes, this is definitely work, because it hovered around between the sort of 22 to 28 percentage level, and I really wanted to get it sort of sub 10%, but like I say, did work, and you know, no escapes, things like that. So we can, you know, give a bit of a pass, a soft pass on that one. But one of the things that was surprising and a good takeaway, and there's always good takeaways when it comes to any build, is that you can really make money in the game. Like really make money if you've got things like green energy, you've got workshops, you've got bakeries, you've got farming, you've got forestry. There's an insane amount of money to be made, and I thought that would be a nice focus for a build. So this is that. Let's just see how we get on. The first episode of the series, as long-term viewers will be aware, is basically all about just setting our stall up, talking about what we want to accomplish and doing the planning, although there will be some building in this episode. Normally that doesn't happen until season 2, but you'll probably understand once we get into it. Anyway, let's go create a new prison, and we're going to go with default gender, uniform, colour, etc. We're going to go with Safara Aknova. They get a small resale cut of contraband found, and there will be a lot of contraband because of where the fencing will be placed before expansion. More on that later. Default guard doggos, world size is small. Now, this is going to be a very expensive prison. Things like the workshops, 1,500 generic units of currency each, saw and press, you need normally 10 of each, and then carpentry tables and solar panel stuff. Just building it in is physically, it's a big building, so we're going to need a lot of money, and because of that, I'm going to give myself none. Now this is a curious decision. The people have put this challenge to me several times in the past, and I think it's about time we do attempt it. Also, because of the idea with the facility, it's all about making money and work, then hopefully that will inform the build. So I need to build as cheaply as possible and efficiently as possible in order to get prisoners as soon as possible to actually start making money. But yeah, we'll see how we get on. The default plot type is, well, the plot type is default, yeah, why not? We're going to go with no weather and intensity, we just don't have time for that one. No gangs or dynamic reputation. Fog of war is off for your viewing pleasure. 30 conditions we will turn on, as well as generate forests, because that will give us money. And we are going to go with some escape plans, and I think that's about it. I'm not going to go with events or temperature or anything like that, or staff needs, because we don't really have the space for the staff needs potentially. DLC settings then, we're going to go with, well, cleared for transfer we're going to put on. I'll come back to that, and then I'm going to go with prisoner aging, because that's normally a default thing. So cleared for transfer, where basically prisoners, they evaluate the lower rated inmates and see what amenities and facilities they have access to, and if they decide that that's worthy of attention, then basically they'll have to look at the criteria, and then if they meet the criteria, they get automatically moved down to that lower grading to, again, have access to stuff. Now I'm going to turn this on, and we are going to run it, but I should stress that this is only for expansion stuff, so I don't plan on expanding east to the roadside, but there is potential for the other three sides, north, west and south, and if we expand there, then we will put in, like I say, more amenities and allow the cleared for transfer stuff to sort of flow. That's the idea, and well, let's see how we get on. Over to play. And oh wow, the game's really helped me out here with 3 palm trees. Okay, I was hoping for a lot more forest because you make money from dismantling trees, and well, yep, I guess we're going to get 3 trees. How wonderful. Let's go with exports. I'm going to put the exports temporarily permanent over on the right-hand side here. And what I'm also going to do is go to intake and turn all of this stuff off. So, as I said, the first episode is all about the planning. I'm just going to plan off what's going to be the walls and the fences. Now, on the right-hand side here, I plan on this being a... It's basically going to go for 10. It's basically going to be one large building eventually, and this is going to be all of the sort of staff need areas. The rest of this will be fencing. Now, this is, like I said, a sort of temporary setup. I do plan on expanding if we get that far, and the idea is that we can go with, hang on, we're going to go with a door there maybe? Yes, door there. door there, and then when we expand we will put that gap of 10 in the separation thing so contraband can't be thrown over. But at this stage, well, we can't really do any of that because we don't have the funds available. Speaking of funds, yes, those guys are cracking on over there. Let me go ahead, and I need to start making money, and the best way to do that early on in my experience is green machine and eco-friendly. Also, because of that, we can go with the power station, and we're going to sell the power station, and we're going to sell the capacitor. I might even can I sell any of the bricks? I can't. Okay, so I've got 12 grand to play with at this stage. Green machine, I guess we're going to go with the utilities and solar panels, and I guess I'll place, say, I mean, this is going to be, I'd really like to have a more permanent solution for this thing, but this is going to be temporary permanent. Yeah, we might even have to redo this bit, but anyway, 1, 2, and 3, and then we need a transformer, which can go in there, and then a power export meter, which can go there. Alright, and then once we've done that, I can then get the wind turbines, which is now been, well, we've now got that 1, 2, and then I can't do a 3, but I can just at least allow the game to crack on. So all of these trees have been knocked down, all of these 3 trees. Yeah, that would be a bit better if we had yeah, more of those, but whatever. So we wired up the power export meter, and we also need to wire up the electrical cable, which is going to go in there, and that means we can start exporting money. Start exporting power for money. And has that just been brought over and just left? I think it's in. I think it's in. And the wiring should be in. Hang on. Wiring. Connections. I mean, it's connected. It hasn't generated anything because I haven't got batteries, of course. Okay, just waiting for the cash flow. What I'm going to do to make even more money is go to staff and fire all workers but one. Because you do need at least one worker to crack on with things. And now we've got enough money to go with a battery, and one battery only. Wow, we are really, really running as efficiently as possible here. And there we go, we now have money coming in. So we are generating 1,330 daily, and that's just a standard fee for the game, and obviously we're exporting power as well. We can't do any planting just yet. Forestry we have not got unlocked, and well, we're not going to have unlocked for a while. But anyway, over to planning here and to walls. Now I'm going to build the cells like this. Now these cells are going to be a 2x2, which is technically under the minimum size this cell can be. 3x2 is the minimum. However, if you have bureaucracy unlocked, you can then get the lawyer, and then you can remove that size requirement, and that's what we're going to do. Now, whether or not we do it sooner, well, I was going to say sooner or later, we're going to have to do it sooner or later, aren't we? Yeah, just by design. Okay, let's just see if this is in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So, I have an option. Do I make this bigger, as a big thoroughfare through the middle, or do I leave it as is? I think I'm going to do this, because on the other side is going to be the exact same thing, and this is going to go pretty much all the way along. And I might even do another couple of rows. My initial idea actually was to have that on all the way on the bottom, on the side, and then the top. But if I do that, I'm very limited in what I can do when it comes to the expansion. So I'm actually sort of changing my mind a little bit and having the cells in like this. So the back to back, and we'll do something like that. I'll also have to look at going for another row of these. And when we expand, it's just going to sort of expand to the left. That is the goal anyway. That is the goal. So I don't know how many I've got in there. I'm not really too sure, but I'm going to put in another set, and that is as far as I'm going to go with this. With this amount of space and the amount of inmates that we can probably get here. Those can stay as fencing, which is fine, and then we'll do the remaining bit like so. In terms of cash, we do have Oh, we nearly have 2,000, which is handy. I need to run the prison on green energy for how many more days do we need to run it on for? Well, it's 81 hours. Okay. So, the idea here is, do I put another row in? It feels like I should have another row in. Yes, I'm going to do it. This is probably over-engineering the amount of prisoners that we are going to have here, but it's all right. We can, let's say, once we go to expansion, the priority expansion will be to the left, to the west, and then we can get more in there, whether that be dining or anything else. So that's now in. Pathways then. Let's just run our pathways. They're going to run along like this and like so. And same down here. And pathways will come along like here. And then we get on to what is going to become, again, probably quite an expensive thing. Can we install a wind solar hybrid? No, because I need another wind turbine. So the wind turbine will go... It will not go there. Oh, that's because there's a power export meter there, isn't there? Okay, fine. Well, I'll spend my money there. We are going to get money from the power export, which is fine. And also that log, we can sell it for 170 generic units of currency. Excellent. There's normally one log just left. Anyway, so planning and walls and, well, buildings. I mean, is this whole thing going to be building? It can't be. It can't be all building. It can't be. I mean, it can be. But, okay. One of the ideas I had with the design is that the prisoners go basically from left to right throughout the day. So they will leave their cells and they'll come into, well, they can probably shower in the cells. Then they'll come into a canteen which will run all the way along. Then after that, it'll be checkpoint into work areas. And after that, it'll be checkpoint into things like common rooms and that sort of thing. And then they work back around the outside. That's the idea. Whether or not I can pull it off, I do not know. I'm going to go with, however, because of that, probably some... I think I'm actually going to go with a really big pathway through the middle, and that's going to use up a lot of space, I'm aware, but I think it's use it correctly. Let's just go with that, and then these are going to be the walls, and these are going to be very similar to one another in terms of what they contain. So I'm going to have in an open area where the prisoners can get in. I'll put them on that side, and actually, if we were going to have a main thoroughfare like this, surely we would benefit from doing that and having them come through and down. Yes, that would be better. That would be better. And then instead then, we will have walls like that all the way along. We'll remove this section, and it'll go like that, I think. Yes, okay, right. Doing something like that, and obviously mirrored on the other side. This is all, you know, all potential plans as well. You know, we're not having this set in stone completely. Let's go with some fencing on the back there. It also means doing it this way. Then if we expand this way, I can extend the buildings. So it actually makes a lot more sense, I think, going this way. Obviously, let me know in the comments what you think on that one. And we'll do that, and is it actually, you know what, was it best to have them do that so they come through and then they go back? I do think it was. I think giving them access to both sides is just gonna lighten the load a little bit. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. I'm not gonna change it up again. I say that might be a lie. Let's just see about wind solar hybrids. 5,000. Okay. Well, within the next less than 2 days, I'm going to get 10 grand anyway from the eco-friendly, which is handy. So back over to here. So this is where we're going to have, let's say, the kitchen. Well, actually, no, not the kitchen. We're going to have the canteen on this side. And the objects are a 4x3, as one is probably aware. So 4x3 is going to go along here. Again, I haven't calculated it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 110. Okay. Okay, that's not terrible at all. Remove that one and that one. And what can we get on this one? 4, 8. So 4, 8, 16, 32. Oh, God, I need more. Yep. Okay, this is going to be a bit bigger. we'll do that and oversize the canteen. But acknowledge that there's a central part here for things like phone booths and that sort of thing. Right, from this one, we're going to go with walls along, and this is where it gets a bit tricky, because this is where we need to have basically a section of 6 like that, where we have metal detectors, checkpoint. Because people can come in here in the canteen, no problem. There's no contraband that comes from there. But in order to progress through the next one, they have to go through this. They don't have a choice. Similarly, leaving is the same idea. So we're going to have in the checkpoint. So we'll have in the objects, and it is 6. I think it's 6. Checkpoint is 5, and then you got 1 for metal detectors. I probably don't need the metal detectors on the first one, but I definitely need it on the second one. I also probably need as well a door at some point, but more on that later. Let's go with that one, and we're going to go with the checkpoint like that. We're doing it that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's okay. And then walls along like that one, and in the middle as well, because these buildings are going to be separated. So, is there a middle of this building? Is there a middle? There is a middle, because it's odd. I'm just going to eyeball it there, and it is 25 and 23. Darn it. Okay. Hang on. So it is 24 and 24. And we can have, again, checkpoint and checkpoint with a wall that runs... I'm going to have to guesstimate this a bit. You know what? For this one, I might not need that. So this is workshop. What's the distance on that one? The distance is... going to be a bit... I'm going to make it a bit bigger. So it's going to be a total distance of 15 from the edge. Bit of an arbitrary one, actually, but whatever. So 15 from the edge, like that. Oh, there we go. Green Energy Goal 3 has been completed. Also, I need to get a wind solar hybrid. Now, I think... No, it's fine. I was going to say, I think there's a glitch, but there's not. It does say install a wind solar hybrid, but it doesn't say buy 3. The only reason you need to buy 3 and why I get mistaken is because you need to buy 3 of the previous thing in order to get that done. Okay, so there is a grant completion, and I'm going to go with Administration Centre, because I need to get bureaucracy done as soon as possible. Quick build, and it's going to be the, where is it, office, and I'm going to make it out of the cheapest thing I can, which I think is going to be the, it's not wood wall, it's probably slum. Slum or rusty. Rusty or slum, same sort of thing in terms of price anyway. So it's an office, and I'm gonna go with the rusty wall. And again, this is temporary permanent. There's the 3. There's 10 grand completion for the only run with green energy for the build. So that means we can get another grant, giving something back. We're already 52% of the way there. This is what I mean about green energy, that you can really exploit it. Anyway, back over to building. So I was saying about these areas. So I've had these little checkpoint things. I want these as things like a common room, and maybe, like, I'm not going to have visitation, and that's not my plan. What sort of things can we have in here? Things like chapel, and we definitely have to have a common room, but things like chapel and gymnasium, mailroom, classroom, all of that is outside of the scope of this initial build. That'll be for the cleed for transfer and other things like that later on. Okay, it's going to be a very short planning episode, actually, then. So the idea is to have a similar thing on either side. So these will probably be separate rooms, truth be told. I'm just gonna do that for the sake of ease, where we have doors here, like that, and we might have to have doors on this one. I'm not sure, but we have our checkpoint, and the Yeah, the metal detector. Might not even need those for this one, but for the workshops, certainly, because they go in, and the only way to go out is go this way as well. To be honest, now that I think of it, I probably don't need this for the search, but if I don't have a checkpoint going this way, yes, I can use logistics, I think, to indicate the preferred direction of travel, but doesn't mean the inmates can't just go the other way, in my experience. So we need, like I say, this checkpoint in there too, to make sure that they follow the rules, as it were. Let's go with, let's say there's going to be loads of objects in the middle here. This is going to be like loads of phone booths and things like that. Metal detector is going to be in like that one, and I'm basically just going to copy this down to the bottom. I'm going to go with doorways, and I mean, I need to put doorways on all of these, but yeah, that's a future me problem. Walls, we're going to come down on this one, and we're going to go with this one and this one as well, like that. And then, I mean, there is a point here. It's 11 down, so it goes 11. And then go on the sides. And how much was the front? It was... Oh, no, that's measured all kinds of wrong. Actually, it's not. It's just worked out to be right. It's just looked out to be correct. Because this one is also 11 in size. Yes, it is. So this is going to be straight across like that. And remove all of those. How are we doing for building? Oh, officers are now in. We're going to go staff and a warden. And we're going to go with finance. And we'll probably pick up maintenance and... legal we'll need at some point as well, but I'll probably go with health just for the grant bit of it. So, yeah, with the money that we have, I am going to go over to Wind Solar Hybrid and get myself another... Oh, cancel. Another 3. Again, it's making us money, so there's no reason not to do it at this stage. I probably need some more batteries, though, actually, now that I'm looking at that. Let's just go with the batteries and go 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to... I don't actually need to max out on batteries, so I'm not going to. And we need to hire an accountant, so we'll go with an accountant, and there's that grant now completed. I will now pick up a long-term investment, and I'll probably get the bank loan, and I do want an extra grant as well, but I don't have the cash just yet. Not yet. Back over to planning then, while I wait for that to come in, and objects we're going to run in... Actually, wait, I'll put in doors like that. And doors will probably go on like here as well, I think. Haven't yet decided about how I'm going to lay these ones out. They might actually not be like that because of the size of the checkpoints. But then some of the rooms will say they need to be behind doors, so we're going to have to do something, aren't we? Oh, there we go. There's the extra money for the grant. And we're going to get the give something back grant done sooner rather than later anyway. Anyway, we're going to go with some objects, and is it best just to do... Yeah, it's best just to do that one there. And I think this is enough. It's certainly enough for the current amount of inmates that we're going to have. Whether or not it's going to be good enough for expansion, is that off to one side? It is off to one side, isn't it? Let's just fix that, shall we? And we'll do that one, and then back over to here, and continue on. There's some room on the right that I'm well aware we're not fully utilising the space well, but I say this is first draft, so I'm not going to beat myself up over it too much. And let's go with did I just do 5 objects, or did I do 6? I did 6, so it's 6. Just remove them bits and remove those bits, and it's 6 like that one. Walls straight across. It's double lined it. We'll get rid of that one. Similar thing on this side. Just remove a section there, and then it was 6 and 5. Like I say, I'm not convinced on that one, but we'll see. So it's 5, and then it was 6. Same on the other side. 6 on that one. Potentially 5 on there. I'll do the actual measurements in more detail later on. And, oh, there we go. Power... Green Energy Goal 4 is completed. Power export cap increased to 2,500, and that is another grant completed, which will now be a short-term investment. And then we'll also pick up a basic detention centre. and get a bank loan to start giving us that that increase in credit rating, which is going to be handy. Okay, well, obviously I've got the workshop saws and presses to put in, but I think we'll probably, yeah, forego that for now because I'm not entirely sure as to the layout. I actually think it should be a little bit larger as well. I think we might have to make these rooms a little bit smaller. But in terms of design, very different from anything I've looked at previously, I think, anyway. Focusing on workshop and money and setting ourselves an additional challenge at the very beginning and then having literally zero money. Although, like I say, you do start on positive cash flow, so that's always handy. But yeah, we are making money now. I mean, we haven't got anywhere near the amount of staff that we need. I don't have the money we need for, well, any of this, because these cells here, well, these are going to be cells that don't actually exist in the game at the moment. They really don't, because I haven't unlocked them. And in order to unlock them, I need a lawyer. In order to get a lawyer, I need to spend 5 grand in bureaucracy. And then need to hire the person, which is another grand, I believe. More. Lawyer. No, it's going to cost me 10 grand just to get them, and then it's 200 a day. And then how much is small cells? 10,000. I literally don't have the funds to build this. Okay. That's interesting. That means that someone is going to have to look at, potentially anyway, look at building, let's have a look, objects, metal detectors there. Yeah, we're going to have to build the basic detention centre first. That'll give us that amount, and then we can go from there. There's another option as well. I could, with the money I have, get another 1, 2, 3, 4 wind solar hybrids. I could get some more, but I'm not confident in, I'm not confident in spending the last bit before these investments finish off. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there for now. That has been a bit of Prison Architect. That's the potential next series build. It is the first draft of the first episode of the first series of 2025. So this is very much a subject to change type of thing. I'm also aware that when I load the game back up, one of these grants will be missing because it doesn't save the third grant. I'm hoping it's not one of the investments because that means I'll have lost about 6 grand. Or I could wait until they've finished. You know what? That's going to happen. It will be a bit of a skip ahead, but I'm acknowledging it now. So there will be some money coming in from the green energy. There will be the short and long-term investment finished by the time we do the next episode, and then on that we'll do all of the planning, all of the changes, and start the build properly. As always, let me know what you think, and yeah, comments in the comments for for what we have so far for this series. I'm trying to think if there's any glaring big holes. I mean, there is at the moment because there's literally no fencing. But there's obviously things that we just haven't got that we need. So I haven't even planned where the kitchen's going to go. It's going to be here probably somewhere. Haven't planned any of the staff rooms or any laundry, anything like that. Laundry, to be fair, I could probably have in around here. I could have one of these as a laundry and one as a cleaning cupboard. That'll probably mean they'll have to do a sort of airlock type of system, but I'll have a think about that one. I've also got no solitary, which I can probably put solitary in here if I wanted to. So I could just make some solitary cells sort of off this one side. There's Green Energy Goal 5 completed. Didn't think that we'd get Green Energy Goal 5 in the first episode of a series that we've literally made 3 officers and let's see, grants. Yeah, we've literally got we've got 3 officers made of slum wall that don't even have power. And yeah, We have, ooh, if I go with prison labour and forestry, I can get a big forestry thing, can't I? Well, that would be rude not to. That is going to affect our daily cash flow, though, but I think it's a pretty good idea. Yeah, anyway, we can put Sultry in the centre, like I mentioned, but when it comes to building, we need to finish off the short and long-term investment. I'll just run the game past the time when it does that, and then we'll fire up the next episode with that all completed. And yeah, let's see how we get on. As always, comments in the comments, and we'll go from there. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings. There's the short-term investment completed, so I will save it there. I just ran the clock down on camera just so, you know, no cheating. Generic partings.